Hello and welcome. My name is Anya Devine. Have a look at the links below when I get around to putting them there, and you'll know more about me and the workshops I do and things. I'm over in, I live near Edinburgh, and this is a farmland, temple farmland in Midlothian, and we've got rolling hills and everything. Now it looks, I was saying in the video previously where I forgot to put my microphone on, that it looks as though I might be kind of organised here. I feel it's taken me a long time to get to this point here today, and the wind is blowing strong, as you can probably tell. It's shaking the iPad there. But I've decided, as I was saying, I feel I'm getting a little bit old now to be, or not old, but just today, I feel like I want to sit down and give my body a rest and just do something clear and maybe from beginning to end, rather than to be flighty and picking stuff here, there and everywhere. I'm going to start with 10 minutes acrylic paint, and then I'm going to do to work in oil over that. This is canvas that this is a Damien Callan art course, plein air painting. So I'm going to tune into myself, look after myself, have a drink of water, sit down there in that seat, and I will be at arm's length from the easel because I do want to still have the feeling of the full body being engaged. But it's important to me too to keep a radar up for tension. Alright, so I've got acrylic ready here, and I've got oil paint for after that. So if I'm not stopping in 10 minutes, you have to yell at me. And after 10 minutes of the acrylic, I'm going to move on to that. And I think is that everything. I was going to say something else to you. Oh yeah, the easel has to be anchored into the ground, so I've hammered it in a couple of inches into the earth so it doesn't fall over in this wind. There's my water. And I picked up a big bunch, there's horses in the field beside me there. I picked up a bunch of horsehair that I thought might be nice for a collage sometime. There's one of the horses there, as you can see. Okay. Alright, so now hopefully you can see enough. And hopefully I can see enough. And I'm going to make tracks. It feels odd sitting down, I have to be honest. But I also wanted to sit down because I like the undergrowth, or the thistles, grasses and things that are waving in the wind in the foreground there. I quite like that. So that's why I wanted to be low down, so that they feature more highly. I'm just questioning my composition again now as I bring out the viewfinder, and I'm telling myself, Anya, there's no time to be moving again, for goodness sake, settle. So, and my experience is that as soon as we give attention to anything, there's beauty in it, and we can become curious and things will be uncovered. Okay, yes, I know what I had decided now. I'm going to include, see the 3 trees at the end of that row there. Don't know if you can see them exactly. Yeah, those 3 over there. Anyway, I'm going to include 2.5 of them. You'll see as I do it. Hopefully it'll make sense. Now, how am I going to know that I've got my time up? I better set my alarm, because I don't trust myself really to stop when I say I'm going to stop. Because it's nearly lunchtime, like I want to have something accomplished by lunchtime. So let me see. I'll say 10 minutes from now, or better still 11:11. That's my lucky number. 1111. Done. Now that's going to go off to let me know that I have to stop using the acrylic. Now I can only use the acrylic if it's still wet enough, and in this wind it might have actually dried. Oh my goodness, I really feel odd sitting, for goodness sake. Even kneeling down might be better. Yeah, I'm going to I'm going to be low to the ground here. This feels better. So I've just brought myself down a little bit lower there, and I think you can still see okay. Alright, so let me just make a start, for goodness sake. I've got my equipment here, my box of acrylic paint, but I think I'll just use what's on the palette. Okay, so I'm going to do the 2 trees, 2.5 trees, vegetation at the front, and I think lots of sky. So actually I'm going to probably just go halfway with the land, tree, half a tree, vegetation. But I don't like the idea of making it. This is more square. Oh, here's Damien coming. Hi. I keep making different decisions about things. And Damien, just to warn you, I've stuck on the video. It is, yeah. Come and say hello, sure. If you want to. There's a spot for Damien here. Can you see? I decided to stoop down rather than. Yes, yeah, so this is Damien's course. Look at him, set for the weather. Wow. For every eventuality. Yeah, so I decided I was going to just use the smaller board in the end. Okay. Because this is maybe more square than I want, and I think I'll do a portrait of, you know, of those 3 trees there. Right. But 2.5 of them. Yeah. And I'll have some of the vegetation in the front and some of the sky. Yeah, good. Do you think that's copping out and just doing the same as I always do?
Not at all, no. I mean, it's great to have especially the vegetation in the foreground.
Yeah, really, and I think low down I see that more like... Aha. Yeah. Yeah. So you're happy enough with that?
Absolutely.
Any ideas?
Yeah. No, only that. Are you sure you don't want a big one?
I know, yeah. I suppose I should.
Do the big one. Go on, yeah. I don't
want
to throw you off track.
Yeah, I'll do the big one, yeah.
You can fill that, no problem.
I suppose it's true, yeah. I'll just use the big brushes, yeah. It was because it was wider than I kind of... I thought it would be too kind of divided if I do the land halfway. Right. And then I have the 3 trees. But maybe I could get that slope down the way if I leave it wide. Yeah. Aha. Yeah, that's clinched the deal for me. All right. Okay. Yeah. I'll put the 3 trees.
Because I've also been doing these composition exercises with people where you fold over a bit of paper. Yeah. So you could always just, I don't know if you've got any tape or anything, but just cover that for a moment. Oh, okay. Do your idea. Yeah. And then take it off and deal with it, and you will. Oh, okay. You know, you'll find something to fill it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I might do it on that side actually, because that's where I was intending. Okay. Okay. If I have tape. I think I do. And you'll be pleased to know I've set a timer for myself, so I'm not going to go over have you got
10
tape?
minutes. No, I don't think I have. Let's see. Oh jeepers, PVA glue is spilling.
I'll get a bit of tape from Sam.
Okay.
There's colours there if you need anything.
Alright, thank you. I'm just going to start. So, yeah, so that seems good advice. Maybe I'll just pause it while we get ourselves sorted, and this can be seen as an introductory video, and I'll put it in the link with the next one too. Will I? Or will I just stay? I'll just stay here for God's sake. I don't want to be stopping and starting. And sure, it's no harm anyway to hear the banter at the start of it. Okay, so if we're going to make that, and maybe say that might be where the tape would be, so I'll do my idea of the 2.5 trees. Yeah. Actually, even just a line there works, does it?
Yeah. Okay.
You think? Or I'll put the tape on, that's no harm. Yeah, thanks Damien.
Do you need any?
I think I've just, I might need some later on, but it's probably enough for now. Okay. You know, with it being the big one, I'll probably come back and get, at lunchtime, sure. When are we stopping?
Yeah.
Are we stopping soon?
No, we just stop when you want to.
Okay, magic. Thanks ever so much.
Alright.
Alright, see you later. Okay, so here we go. I'm just mixing the brown and the blue together. Now you see, I need to set that alarm again, don't I? 11:11, because it's nearly 11:11 already, is it? Let me see. Oh, I never even started it. Okay, now. So I've got 10 minutes to get something down here. Right, so sky. I think that tree might be kind of there. I love trees. And there's that tree there. Can I start your lower one? Dark on one side. You see, the idea is now that I'm going to work an oil over this, so I'm really being approximate and just giving an idea of the colour and shape of things, so as to make order for myself. So that's kind of, those conifers back there had a more of a bluey, or maybe it's willow, had a slightly bluer quality to it, and that'll allow me to set that apart. I know there's the hill with the lovely green grass down there, and then green grass of home. I was talking to my family yesterday and I missed them. I think I'll do my best to get home to Ireland, before Christmas for sure. Yeah, before Christmas. I'm teaching in Dublin in September. That's the plan. I don't know if it's, I must check and see if it's filling, because at least I could get home then, even just, on my own for a few days. But failing that, I think we'll go, and can I just say, if you are interested, the Schoolhouse for Art is it's probably the most inspiring venue I've worked in. I just love it. There's a real dedication to creativity there, and you can feel it in the building. So that's the Schoolhouse for Art in Enniskerry, County Wicklow. Now, there's a shadow underneath that tree, and there's a shadow cast by that tree. Can you see what I'm doing? Maybe I'm completely in front of you. What if I do that? Is that better? I can't see the screen at all, really, myself. I'd say Damien thinks, for God's sake, every time he comes over to me, I've got the video running. Alright, now, but he's got a channel himself, actually. He's got some great, he does online lessons and everything. He's very good. He's helped me a lot, that whole area. Well, we kind of help each other, I suppose. Now I'm putting some blue and green together to get the kind of blue. I want to be careful not to make these colours in the background too dominant, but I kind of like that. I mean, it's not that dark, but I like that it's really different, and I can always rein it in with the oil paint layer over the top. I think there's a thing with the oil and the acrylic are they work hand in hand for me, and sometimes the acrylic is still very visible. That's totally different now, the colour that's there, so I'm going to bring some yellow ochre in. I really feel like I need to do big things, for God's sake. Big moves. So that tree is higher where it needs to grow than that one. Alright, and now I'm going to just use, it looks to me like it's kind of a mix of yellow ochre and white, really. I could have used the white of the canvas, but instead I'm going to just spray it on. Fair play to Damien suggesting I use the big one. I think it's a bit timid to be going always, well, not timid, but it's a good idea, because it took me a while to get going today, so I might as well, now that I'm started. I kind of like that swipe there. Now that I'm started, I might as well. It's funny, I'll finish my sentence. Now that I'm started, I might as well go big. Yeah. I was going to say there, it's funny the difference in sitting on that stool, how restrictive it felt for some reason. Don't know what that's about. Now that tree, and I like it so much, it looks like it needs to come down a bit lower, or I could shove these up a bit higher. I'll shove those up. And that one can go higher again. I like the slope. I like that tree the way it was too. I could have brought that one down. I think I'll bring that down a little bit as well. How about that now? And I can still get back. Do you see how you could get lost in the faffing around here? Like, I'll just clean that brush and we'll wash that back. And wash this back. And I can use my rags to wipe away either side of those trunks and get them back again, because there's something lovely in the space between those trees there. And still that needs to come down lower. That tree in the background. And I don't know if I want to put that tree in there. I don't think it's helping the composition, and normally I leave everything, but today I just feel like I'm going to leave it for now anyway and just focus on the bluish trees back there and these lovely ones in the foreground. Okay, halfway through my acrylic layer, and actually you know, I could nearly stop now really, to be honest with you. Maybe giving myself too much time, because I want to leave something you know, something inspiring to do with the oil paint. What am I doing? Bringing blue into that. Anyway, it's done now. Okay, foreground. I could do something here. My tiny cheapest slug. Right. Bottle green. I think Jenkins green for the bottom of the foreground there. And what size is it? So the height of the tree again before I get to the top of the vegetation. And then the vegetation is there, like the dark thistly carrion is there. Dry, dark area here. It's kind of got lots of texture to it. Yeah. And that's only the second tree now, so I need to see what's below that. It's still more green than yellow ochre, so back from green and brown. Geez, I wonder how I'm going to make it work if with the acrylic layer and then the oil. I kind of like this composition, so if I took that off, I think it would lose something. So I'm actually going to leave it the shape it is. Get the framer to do something if I like it enough to frame. Alright. Because I feel I'm committed now. Can't be going back on this commitment. What's this green going to be? It's going to be there. And I'm going to lose it a bit again. And then there'll be green there. My goodness, I didn't realise it was that bright. But it needs yellow in it. That's a lovely grass green up there. And of course the greens change, like as the light changes, the greens change. I love that. So that's going to have the green. You might think, no, that's cheating on you, saying that you were going to use that space and not using it. But you will see, I might end up using it anyway. This is kind of green merging into the yellow ochre. And here there's like a sweep up, like a valley coming up. Now it's all a big mess, isn't it? Really, it's all a big mess. But it's from messes that we can retrieve stuff too. There's something happening at least. I never usually work on canvas either, so that's already a kind of a variable for me to keep things fresh. I quite like working on these boards because you can wipe away and you get that lovely texture of the acrylic. The acrylic dries more quickly, I think, on the board as well. So this is new and it's good. I enjoyed using the canvas yesterday with the oil paint, and I think it's going to work very well for me to use the oil over this. I'm going to just re-establish those trees a little bit more darkly, because when I think about it, I want to bring the oil in to kind of retrieve those bright lights between and things. And the tree needs to be significantly dark in order for that to be the case. So I put some red into the green now to deepen it a bit more. Right into the tree colour. And the tree extends above the horizon there. Now what about if I was to do something like a Payne's grey or something like that in the sky? So that then I could use the oil paint to bring out the light in the sky. Of course, again, like I was saying, it changes the whole time, but isn't that lovely? And it is, you know, I love that, and I think that the oil paint will manage the change. Yeah, okay. I hope now when I wipe away that it will get some nice texture that I would get if I was using the board. But then there'll be other surprises, I suppose, if I don't get that. It should be darker here. Kind of stabby texture. I'm going to wipe this. Gosh, it's almost a clean force. Oh yeah, there's some texture happening there. How long have I got? Oh, time up. Look at that. Now I have to start with the acrylic, with the oil paint. Imagine that. Am I gonna, well, I suppose you're witnesses now, am I gonna actually abide by the rules here? Oh, I really feel like I might do a layer. But I can do that with the oil paint. Yeah, I'll just be, I'll not give in to my rebel tendencies. Oh, there's masking tape after all. No. And you know what I'm going to do with the oil paint before my lunch? I'm going to have, I'm going to just do another 11-11 start. There we are. And then you can head off. So will I show you what's happened there already? You can see. Put away this. And there we go, into the oil. Alright, so what am I going to do now? I think I'll wipe on, like I was wanting to do earlier about with the acrylic, I'll wipe on something to give a value to the sky. So I'm going to use, you can't see my palette there, I've got my stool set up with the linseed oil and palette. Sorry. So what I wanted to do was make a colour for the sky, just to rub it on. I could use the linseed oil as well actually, to make it more viscous, more movable. Oh, even on its own I quite like that, just as a beginning. I can mix it on the canvas. So that's the tree that extends above the horizon there. And just a note, with acrylic and oil, you can work in oil over acrylic but not the other way around, just in case anyone was planning. Trying this out. Just see, this is a good space for me to test my colours as well, isn't it? I think I need a bit of tarps there to loosen that up a little bit. So I put some brown and some yellow into the sky colour there. I mean, it's made it deeply atmospheric and darker than it is, but I think for now that's okay. And there's some bright blue, which is actually further over, but I like it. And my God, don't we need blue sky? Don't we need blue sky? I'll just make it lighter by scumbling. Scumbling is when you bring a dry rag over the paint. No, I'm liking this. I'm liking the oil paint having been entered into. What am I going to do next? I suppose I could use these brushes. Now let me see. So considering, I'll pretend I've just actually got 10 minutes to work on the full painting, and then I have to stop after 10 minutes. So what would I do in that case? In that case I would half close my eyes and see what needs to be given a darker value. And to me the line of the hills in the background certainly needs to be deepened in tone. There's some green already mixed on here. Damien did a demonstration, I think, using this palette earlier. Right, it needs a kind of a purplish quality to it, so I'm mixing ultramarine blue with alizarin crimson, and now it's too purple, so I'm going to bring in some of that nice kind of hooker's green colour there. Let's see, that's the colour I want, but it's a bit too dark, so I'm going to put, yeah, I just put white in it, a little bit of white, and I'll also make it maybe a bit thinner as I spread it out behind that line of conifers there. Actually the linseed oil is quite good for thinning. Yeah, and like I love the way that there's patches of land visible through the trees, but I'm not going to paint them just now because I want those to have a stronger more buttery texture when I do those bits in between. This is really just to knock back the hills behind. So let them sit right back there. Okay. And it's down for the acrylic. The acrylic is dry enough, like I'm not worried that it's going to mix with the oil because it's dry enough. What was here that I left the gaps? Oh yeah, the top of that tree, and then there's a deciduous tree there that looks to me to be this kind of colour. Sap green. It's one of Damien's mixes already now. It's handy having that there. Okay, why am I going so slow? I think I need to put in, what will I do? I think I'll go, yeah, so eyes half closed again. I'm going to go dark. So using the Viridian green and the Van Dyke brown, I'm going to mix a colour for the trunk of the tree here. So with my eyes half closed now, I'm figuring out where does that trunk actually locate itself. This is going to be a little bit clearer than the acrylic layer, so I want to be finding things in a more true way. So there's the trunk of the tree. As it kind of comes up into the tree, it darkens the whole thing. And I'm going to make it darker here too, with a deeper green tone here. Moving swiftly now, my eyes are looking over and back from the image to the page, from the landscape to the page, swiftly moving, so that I don't lose anything in the translation, like a windscreen wipers on top speed. And then there's the shadow on the grass underneath the tree. There's a couple of fence posts there that are nice too. I could maybe just indicate with the side of the brush there. I mean, I can't believe I'm doing fence posts and I've got 5 minutes. It's a bit like doing eyelashes on a portrait when there's no face, when there's no nose and mouth or something. Alright, stop it now. Okay. It probably would help me to get a bigger brush if I'm... But actually, you know what? I think what I'm doing is fine, because actually it's... it is all there, you know, the stuff is all there, and this is allowing me to find what's important. It's allowing me to find what's important to do next, really. I might just do a bit of drawing with the linseed oil to establish some of these flowers and things in the foreground. Just put the greens on the brush and using the long, I'm just holding the handle at the end very gently, letting the wind almost move this, and just finding the vegetation that sits here at the front. That's okay. Bits and pieces of that flying about. Okay. Now, if I was to finish in the 3.5 minutes I've got left, what I would do, and I am going to finish in the 3.5 minutes, that's what I am doing, what I would do then is just establish the top of that tree there, get rid of all the the white bits that are left, but it's cerulean blue, and hopefully we'll make it a bit more willow-like colour. Oh, for goodness sake, at least it's got a colour in it now, that's fine. Okay. And then there's the line of the hill coming down there. I will probably come back to it after lunch, so I'll just try and kind of establish the big general things. So with my eyes half closed again, I want to get the field through the vegetation there, because actually there's some lovely grasses that are blowing in the wind that way, and I want them to be represented with light. So I'm putting some dark background colour down to be a foil for when I do have the light in front. And that's just some the darker field in the background there. And I'm using the linseed oil again to limber it up a little bit. And there's nice shadow, sky, clouds running across the sky make the land change. I'm going to go with that shadow that had swept up there. I thought that was a nice one. Okay, what was I saying I would need to do now? I was saying that alright, so I'm going to use the square brush to paint in between. I actually could do with bigger brushes, couldn't I? I'm going to paint in between those trees. It's one of the things I love to. It's almost like it's dessert before I finish my dinner though. And I don't know how it's going to read on the canvas. I'm used to doing this on board. I think I need a bigger brush actually, just lay the colour down. And when the alarm goes, I'm going to go off and have my lunch, because I actually brought lunch with me today. I didn't yesterday, I was starving. But I brought lunch with me today. I ended up going shopping for beds with the girls yesterday after my painting stint. The two of them need to get new beds. Erin and Lily. Okay, so there's a couple of people coming now to take their horses out. Just going to bring some sky in. Hiya. And some here. Because I'm really dipped in the water. I could have a cleaner brush, couldn't I? It's a bit green. Yeah, so these are imposing enough clouds. I want them to I want the grey underside of the clouds to be picked up on. Oh, into the green instead of grey. Anyway, this is where I'm starting to feel the urgency of the time limit now. And down here we'll have a different kind of a grey that's got a rusty colour to it. That field there. Oh, there's my time up. Alright. I think I'm kind of excited to come back to this. Let me see. I'll just go over here and maybe take a photo of it and put a picture of it on the icon or on the Facebook group page if you're on that. Sorry about it taking so long. That's a half an hour video now. But sure, I suppose it's all part of the process. Thanks very much for joining me. You know, it's so nice to be able to chat to you while I'm working, and it keeps my mind occupied as well somehow. My body's needing food now, so I'm off for lunch. See you soon.